Hey friend, welcome back. If this is your first time here, I'm Jasan. I'm a nurse, a mom, and an infant sleep consultant. This channel is all about sharing helpful information to help other parents and to support one another. As you can tell by the title, in today's video, I will be sharing with you everything I've learned this far about food aversions in babies. I will share with you my experience with having a now 17-month-old son who absolutely refuses to eat solid foods. We will talk about what food aversion is, some causes and things us as parents should avoid doing at mealtime, how to recognize if baby is developing a food aversion early on, things you can do to help your little one if they have sensory issues, and when to seek help. Before we get started, I just want to say a huge thank you to all my subscribers. I thank you guys so much for being here and I appreciate every single one of you. And I'm glad you're finding value in the content. Okay, so let's get started. So what is a food aversion? A food aversion is the avoidance of a particular food or foods because it is psychologically linked with an unpleasant, stressful, frightening, or painful experience, or it could be related to a sensory disorder. Now, as a parent, we want our babies to be healthy and grow up to be big and strong. So, of course, I wanted my son to start eating solid foods. So at 6 months old, I made him a huge batch of pureed baby food. I mean, my freezer was full and I was super excited. I thought they tasted great and I couldn't wait for him to try them. I would put him in his high chair, put his bib on, and then I would keep trying to feed the foods to him. And if he didn't want to take it, I would trick him and put it in his mouth. I had no idea at the time that I was possibly causing him to not want to eat. I just thought I was helping him to try some new foods. By the time my son was 8 months old, he had started refusing to eat completely and would start crying at the sight of the bib or the high chair. As a new mom, I still didn't know that I was doing something wrong until I started doing some research. So I now believe that my actions may have caused or contributed to my son's food aversion, as I unknowingly caused him to have had an unpleasant and stressful mealtime experience. So there are a few things that could cause an aversion to occur, such as stressful mealtimes, baby is feeling pressured, painful or sensitive gums, baby is scared, or parents force feeding, as well as baby could have a sensory processing disorder, making it difficult for them to explore different textures. So here are a few things to avoid when feeding babies solids to reduce the risk of them developing an aversion. Do not force feed your baby. Forced feeding will only create an unpleasant, stressful environment which baby will associate with food, and this will lead to them refusing to eat completely. Please do not trick them and put foods in their mouth like I did. This will create trust issues surrounding mealtime and could cause baby to become scared, thinking you may do something they do not like. Follow your baby's cues. If they're turning their head away or refusing to open their mouths, they're telling you they're done and they don't want any more. Avoid wiping your baby's mouth while they're still eating. This could be tough for parents who just can't handle the mess, but wiping their mouths while they're still eating will create an unpleasant experience. If baby is teething and doesn't want to eat, this may be due to sensitive gums, so just place them at the table as you would every other time and allow them to try if they want to. Also, if they used to eat but has suddenly become uninterested, a new tooth breaking through might be the culprit, and the baby may be associating eating with pain, causing them to refuse. Now, recognizing the signs of an aversion is important as it will allow you to start early interventions. A few signs may include baby repeatedly uninterested in trying foods, refusing to eat even when they're hungry, fussing or crying when you put their bibs on or when you place them in a feeding position, or when food is offered or shown, keeping their mouths closed tightly or crying and turning their heads away from the spoon or the foods being offered, taking a few small bites and then turning away and crying, refusing food but will drink milk. In our experience, Javian will take his bottle with milk, formula, or Pediasure and will drink water from his 360 cup, but will totally refuse to take any solids, so no purees, no finger foods. As mentioned previously, this started at around 8 months old. So by 10 months old, we talked to our family doctor about it and was referred to a pediatrician. The pediatrician saw him, she was happy with his growth. However, she did refer us to occupational therapy and speech language therapy. And although he is still not eating solids just yet, he now plays with the food and he'll taste it occasionally, and he no longer cries when placed at the table at mealtime. When I first started experiencing this struggle with my son, I was stressed. I felt helpless and I thought I was alone because every baby I saw, even babies younger than my son at the time, they were all taking solids. So what did I do? I started trying even harder to get him to eat solid foods. It took me a while to learn, but I can tell you now that that is not the way to go. It only made things so much worse. I also want you to know that this is a common issue and that you are not alone. The speech language therapist that we're currently working with had given me a handout at our last appointment that outlines the parent's job at mealtime versus a baby's job. So parent's job is to choose and prepare the food, provide regular meals and snacks, so lots of opportunities for baby to try new foods, ensure mealtime is pleasant, show by example how to eat and to behave at mealtime, and have no expectation as to how much the child is supposed to eat. And the baby's job is to eat the amount they need, to learn to eat the same foods their parents are eating, and to learn how to behave at mealtime. For babies with sensory issues causing them to not want to try solid foods, try sensory activities such as putting paint in a Ziploc bag and having baby play with it by pushing the paint around, or putting frozen veggies like green peas in a Ziploc bag and allowing baby to play with it. This is a great desensitization activity, as baby will be able to feel the round pea and will crush it by pressing on it, which will change the texture. Also, they will be able to feel the difference between cold and warm as the pea warms up in their hand. You can also give baby foods like avocados, bananas, and puddings to play with without any expectation of them eating any of it, but with the sole purpose of introducing them to different textures. Let me just say, if your baby has a food aversion, do not blame yourself. Food aversions could be caused by many different factors, some psychological that you would have no control over. And let's just say you did something you think may have caused your baby's food aversion, like I did. Do not dwell on it. Work with your baby and your healthcare professionals, and your baby will get there at his or her own pace. Remember, being a parent is a learning process for both parent and baby. And none of us knows everything, which means we are going to make mistakes. The fact that you're here watching this video right now shows the awesome parent you are. Now I know you see other babies eating all sorts of things and you wish your baby would eat, but it seems like nothing is working. Be patient and keep in mind that no two babies are the same. If you think your baby is developing a food aversion, consult your healthcare provider, as early intervention is always best. We are still working on getting Javian to eat solid foods, and when that happens, I'm going to be one happy mama. But for now, I'm working with him and allowing him to go at his own pace, and I encourage you to do the same. That's all I have for you in this video, guys. If you found the video helpful, go ahead and give it a thumbs up so other parents dealing with this struggle could find this video and may find it beneficial as well. And subscribe to the channel so we could build a community supporting one another on our parenting journey. Also, share your struggle in the comment section and share anything you are doing that you think may be helping your baby get through this phase. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one.